Welcome to the Creative Plan Podcast Network. Join us as we share our favorite RPGs, one-shot games, tabletop games, reviews of items, and convention panels, and other exciting things that we run into from time to time. Sit back and enjoy the show.
Hi, this is Kelly, aka Trixie from Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion to Ragnarok story, and Tilda Wimblewick from D&D Journey of the 5th Edition. First off, I would just like to say thank you to everyone for listening to our varied adventures, as well as for rating us on iTunes and RPGpodcast.com. If you haven't rated us yet, we would greatly appreciate it if you could. And if you're looking for more ways to support our efforts, we are now on Patreon, a great site where you can help us continue making more podcasts, as well as some special surprises for our patrons. If you can, please look us up at www.patreon.com/cppn. Every little bit helps. And again, thank you for listening.
Hey guys, Jim here with Creative Plan Podcast Network with Kelly.
Hello!
Who brings comfort to me.
Aww.
Because for #RPGaDAY2020, while she's oohing and ahhing, the word for the day is comfort.
Comfort. This one was This is a tricky one. I suppose the first thing that comes to mind is every player has their, the things that they find comfortable about gaming. They have that one set of dice or those dice, or that they have the specific, like if they game at the one place where like the chair that they like to sit in, or like for me, when we play at a game store, I'm more comfortable if we have the enclosed room rather than out in the big floor, because it's more comfortable when it's contained, because there's less sound interference. It's like you don't have all the,
distractions.
The ambient noise to get in the way. I'm more comfortable in that type of setting. So, and of course we all like to have our snacks or our drink, whatever, drinks and stuff.
You mean your comfort food?
Yeah. When gaming is always cheat night.
Mm-hmm.
That's like, okay, yay, I can have M&Ms or something more quiet.
It's always nice to have something, just to mark the occasion as a fun and special occasion.
Yeah, exactly. It's, but that's what I thought of when comfort, I suppose characters also often think of comfort. How many of us prefer to have that, the tiny hut spell?
Yeah, how often would a player shill out coins for a night at the inn when you could just be camping on the roadside?
Exactly, because you know very well that it would be more comfortable in that inn. Or it's far nicer to be in that hut because everybody can sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a magic protection. So, that spell wouldn't exist if, we don't take character comfort into consideration as well.
Ah, that's a good point. See, I'd also like to say comfort is good in regards to make sure you have comfort at the game table, like you were saying, so you can feel comfortable actually role-playing with your fellow, RPGers. Because if you don't feel comfortable, if you don't have comfort in yourself and in the environment, you probably won't come out and role-play.
True. Like they're creating a safe space for the players to camp. You want to create a safe space, a comfortable place for your gamers so that they can relax and enjoy themselves. That's an excellent use of the word comfort. Because speaking as a woman gamer, not all gamer tables are as comfortable as others.
Mm-hmm.
Trust me on that. Either we're not made comfortable by we're decidedly uncomfortable, or that they just don't know how to make. So trying to make it a comfortable gaming space for everybody is very important.
Yeah, and that's one of the things as the GM. It's really your job to make sure. I mean, it's not on your shoulders, but it is your job to make sure everyone feels comfortable at the gaming table.
Mm-hmm.
Whether
That's true.
it's pushing down any little sidebars, any comments, using an X card on the table if anybody needs an X card to feel comfortable, because there are a lot of gamers out there that as soon as you start talking about how disgustingly oozy the mad scientist laboratory is with the cadavers on the table, immediately they're like, X card. I don't want to hear about any medical stuff.
Yeah.
Or, start talking about something super claustrophobic, and all of a sudden someone's going right for the X card.
It'll definitely give me the heebie-jeebies. And then there's also other subjects that are, even far more distasteful that, I'm like, I don't know how many, pugs I've been in, and they'll use the term rape like, we're gonna no, not comfortable with that.
Mm-hmm.
That is definitely an X card.
When you could totally
Big,
say ride roughshod over them, or
no. So that is decidedly a very uncomfortable environment.
Mm-hmm.
Should be for everybody. So yeah, no, definitely.
I mean, that's definitely why comfort, like at RingCon, sadly won't be happening this year most likely, but they take into effect hey, are any of these terms not cool with you? And you can check them off so your GM knows not to either let it happen at the table or get it in his game, because sometimes you have to edit that stuff last minute.
Mm-hmm.
That does happen on occasion, that last minute for your players' comfort. Somebody's having a bad day, and you're like, whoa, we were going to have this dramatic scene framed around me pushing you against the wall interrogation style, but you're having a bad day, so in regards to comfort, I'm going to knock that scene out completely, and just we'll go back there later when you're in good headspace.
But you're right that like RingCon does pay attention to that, where the players have an active voice as to what should not happen for that. Also, they do provide a ladies gaming space, which is nice. Just for the, sometimes you just need a break.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a huge advocate for the ladies gaming space. I thought that was an awesome idea when Karen and, company mentioned it the first time. It's like, that needs to be a thing. Because again, being in a room with a lot of folks, that are the same sex as you is a lot more comfortable than being on the floor when you're the only gal amongst this group that have never played with a girl they could be uncomfortable themselves, so they push their uncomfort on you.
Oh, yes, they do.
Because that is a thing,
Or they won't leave you alone, like they're like,
leering.
Exactly. So I find that that's really becoming less of a thing. I mean, especially with, younger gamers and stuff, it's not as much of an issue. It's still, it all depends on their gaming experiences.
Mm-hmm.
So it's becoming much more commonplace. So I think that it's good that we have something like that right now. I hope that in the future it won't be necessary, but it's nice to have that space.
Well, think about it. Just like in Stranger Things, the group plays with the gal in the group and they stop being so creepy about it. And everyone gets to their comfort level, so that way everyone can enjoy the game and have a good time.
Yeah, but people have to be willing to make those adjustments, because I hate to say it, far too often women, especially, the way it used to be, was we were always taught to be the peacemaker, that we had to be the one to compromise. Well, gentlemen, I'm sorry. A lot of us are done compromising. We're not going to just smile and go, it's boys being boys. No, a lot of us are going to say, stop that shit.
So you're saying you no longer are comfortable with compromise.
No, well, not just that, we're just no longer, a lot of us are no longer comfortable with just letting it slide.
Mm-hmm. It is not a bad thing to hold somebody on account. If somebody does something, it's okay to call them out on it.
Yeah.
I mean, how else can people find out they're assholes if they don't know they're being assholes?
But I mean, that's not like all, I also see that it is changing. And as long as we continue to change in a forward motion,
Mm-hmm.
that's fantastic.
And also, I take comfort in the fact that there's more family gaming groups out there, which
Oh, yeah.
I think that's a huge part of the transition. Is it's not just a bunch of high schoolers and elementary folks sneaking away to play a game because they might be blamed for being a Satanist by playing D&D. The big Satan scare.
That 60 minutes expose that they did in the 80s. Oh my God. Because they weren't comfortable with us gaming.
Mm-hmm. So all of a sudden they heard about kids playing wizards and casting spells against dragons and demons, and that's kind of why D&D lost demons and devils for a while. Because society's comfort level at seeing this game, they're like, oh, no. Dragons are wholesome. They're in the Bible. Demons, they're in the Bible too, but we don't want to talk about them.
Yeah.
That's not in the comfort zone.
Yeah. So that's a good point, though.
Mm-hmm. Which also, comfort can be popped out as during session 0, ask your players what they don't want in the game. Because remember how, when we usually do our session 0, so what do you absolute not want in the game? And you always scream gelatinous cube.
Yeah, I hate those.
Or
Rust
worms.
monsters. Oh, don't.
See?
Ugh.
I just broke your comfort level.
God. See, and I remember from when I was a kid, seeing that, I mean, it was just this black and white drawing, and it's not even that, it was a very,
very simple.
But the horror on the guy's face.
Guy wearing a helmet and chainmail, and the worms just doing their thing.
The worms and going into the arm, oh. Oh, gave me the heebie-jeebies.
And it still
something
does.
Terrible. I know. It's just, and it's not like it's the most detailed or graphic illustration, but I was, I was young when I'm like, oh my God, this is terrible. The mere thought of it just creeped me out. Okay. Let's change the subject because that is
totally out of your comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so I think we've covered comfort, how you can help support comfort, how you can totally ruin someone's comfort, because sometimes in a game it's good to make people squirm. Sometimes. So that pretty much will cover for us for August the 17th, the word of comfort. So I gotta throw it out there as a question for folks to comment on, like the Facebooks when we make the post. What do you do at your table to help bring comfort to your fellow gamers? Because, I always dig it when they bring drinks. I'm just saying. Alrighty, guys. Talk to you later.
Thank you for listening to the Creative Play and Podcast Network. And feel free to enjoy our other shows, such as D&D Journey of the 5th Edition and Scion Ragnarok and Roll, a Scion hero to Ragnarok story. Thank you for listening.